Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video on the Future Programmer YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be continuing our study on functions in Python. In particular, our focus this lesson is going to be about scopes in Python. So without further ado, let's get started. The video today is all about scopes in Python, and you may wonder, what are scopes and how are they important when learning about functions? And soon you will see why knowing about scopes in Python is very important and critical to the understanding and using of functions. So firstly, let's talk about the difference between a local and a global variable. In the code cell below, examine this code and hypothesize what will be outputted if I run this code cell. And you may think about, here is a function called func, and it's called right here. So there's a variable string, which is a string I was declared initiated in the func function, and it's printed out right here, and again, it's printed out right here. However, if I run the cell, you can see, firstly, I was declared and initiated in the func function, and that is the print statement right here. However, we got a name error on line 6 when we tried to print out string outside the function. And what happened is the string variable was defined inside the func function and is therefore known as a local variable. And as the result, string is only visible inside the func function. And when we try to access a local variable outside of the function or outside the scope is declared in, we'll get a name error as right here, or we can potentially access the wrong variable. To work around this issue, we can have the function return the local variable and access it in a global scope. And here is the same code. I have added a return statement right here and assigns the return value to a global variable string. And if I run the cell, you can see inside the function is this string, and then outside the function is also this string. And so string in a global scope, it's now a global variable, is equal to the string returned right here, which is this string right here. So it's printed out firstly inside the function, and then again outside the function. And the second thing we want to talk about today is the global keyword. If we want to modify or access a global variable inside a function, we can use the global keyword to do so. Looking at this cell, we can see num is assigned a 10 to the value of 10, and then there's a function called func, and num is equal to 5, print num, func, calling the function, and then printing out number. You can see, firstly, printed out 5, which is right here, because num equals equal to 5, and it's printed out 5 right here. However, this is a local variable, so it's not accessed outside the scope of the function, and we can see 10 is printed out because num is equal to 10, and it's printed out right here. And here is the same code from above. I've added one line of code, global num. And that is going to be how you use the global keyword. The global keyword, all lowercase, and then a space, and then the variable you want to access. You can also add num2, num3, etc. if you need more than one variable from the global scope. So now if I run the cell, you can see 5 and 5 are printed out because now this num is this one because there's a global num at the top of the function. And to summarize the lesson today, we talked about the differences between global and local variables where we can access each. And we also talked about how we can access local variables in the global scope by returning values from a function. And we also talked about how we can use the global keyword to access and modify global variables in a local scope. And that's it for this video. Now you know all about what scopes are in Python and how to overcome the issues that they may pose for our programs. In the next video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the more advanced things that we can do to Python functions to make them suit the needs of our programs. With that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.